Good day, RGV. Today on Valley por Vida, we are visited by a very special guest here in the studio. She's a Tejano music superstar, and she is talking to us today about some really exciting things. Now, we're also going to be talking about the benefits of music education for students, and we've got an all-new Fun with Food segment, plus tips and tricks for first-time cooks in the kitchen. All of that and so much more today. The show starts right now. All right, thanks again so much for joining us today. I'm your host, Danielle Banda. Now, you must pay attention extra carefully to today's show, okay, because we are bringing you one amazingly special guest for you to meet. We're talking about none other than American Tejano music superstar, Elida Reina. Now, she's, of course, an American Tejano music singer, and her band, Elida Reina y Avante, also known as Elida y Avante, is a Latin Grammy award-winning Tejano band, and we not only love her for sharing her talents, with the world, but of course she's also very actively involved in our local Rio Grande Valley community efforts. Now, you've sung along to all of her hits. You saw her, work unfold at Elida Fest 2022 last weekend, and now she's joining us in studio to tell us all about her recent endeavors for the benefit of students' music education. And she's also working with the city of Mercedes to make this happen, among other partners, and it's absolutely, it's amazing just to have her here at the studio with us. So without further ado, please welcome Elida Reina. So how are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it is our pleasure. People are so excited that you're going to be on the show.
Thank you.
I mean, first of all, we need to catch up with you. How have you been? How's life? What have you been up to?
Well, I've been performing now for, believe it or not, 30 years in the music industry. Who would have thought? I really didn't imagine that I would still be doing what I love. I'm so passionate about it. And I've been so blessed. We've won 2 Grammys. We have won 39 Tejano Music Awards. Wow. And I feel so blessed. The city of Mercedes, my hometown, has given me so much. And so in return, it's time to give back to the community. It's about paying it forward. And so we decided, my husband and I and our friend Rick Ramos, who's also the promotions manager behind Elida Fest, which is what we're going to be promoting.
Yeah.
We have a big festival coming up, and we have humongous bands performing. We have David Lee Garza, Grupo Signo, the Tex Maniacs, Los Morales Brothers, and of course yours truly, Elida Reina, performing. And this is our first annual. But the reason why I wanted to do something like this was, again, to give back to my community of the city of Mercedes. And of course, to bring in people that have never been to the Rio Grande Valley, because we've traveled throughout the world, believe it or not, because we've also played for the troops. We've gone to Guam, we've gone to Korea. We've gone all over the world, to Europe, and people really do love Tejano music, believe it or not. But a lot of people assume that I'm from San Antonio because I was born there, but they don't know that I was raised here in the Rio Grande Valley.
Wow.
And that's something that I'm so proud of, and everywhere I go, I always make sure that I recognize this beautiful, Rio Grande Valley, this area that we live in. It's so beautiful. And so we're inviting everybody to come out, not only our Valleyites, of course, which are coming to Elida Fest, but we're also having people come from all over. We have people coming from Florida, Arizona, Washington State, to be a part of Elida Fest. But most importantly, the reason why we wanted to create Elida Fest was because we want to give away 2 scholarships for students for Mercedes High School. We're going to be, of course, the proceeds are going towards a scholarship for a music scholarship.
Wow. And
of course, an academic scholarship. And then we also want to do something that, like I've always said, we're not recreating the wheel.
Yeah.
There are already schools here in the Valley that are already implementing this curriculum, and that is a Conjunto Tejano curriculum in their schools.
Amazing.
So basically, they would be going from math class to a Conjunto Tejano class. And we want to make this possible for the kids here in the Mid-Valley area. So why not start in my hometown? And even though I'm just one person, I'm hoping that I can make a big difference in a student's life. And what we're planning to do is, with the proceeds of Vida Fest, we're going to be getting together. We need accordions, we need bajo sextos, we need guitars and all that good stuff, so that these students can start learning the basics of what Conjunto Tejano music is all about.
Absolutely, and people love that you're doing this, especially, you know, the kiddos. Maybe sometimes they struggle with a certain subject. They don't want to go to school for whatever reason.
That was me.
And now they want to. They have something to look forward to.
Right, definitely. I know that had I have had a curriculum like this, I would have definitely gravitated towards it.
Yeah.
Fortunate for me, I was in marching band, and so I really, really enjoyed that. Yeah. And I was able to learn a lot from there that got me to the next level, or the next step, which was of course, that's when I met my band at the University of Pan American with the mariachi, which is another beautiful program. But we're hoping to start something new here. Like I said, trickle effect, somewhat of a domino effect, so to speak. They're already doing it in Brownsville, in Los Fresnos. They're already doing it in the McAllen area, in some areas, La Jolla.
Okay.
And so now we're hoping to do it here in the Mid-Valley. And then, of course, a lot of these kids actually go to UIL competitions, believe it or not. But our goal in all of this is for them to learn to love the culture of our music and where it comes from.
Yeah.
And so that they know how rich in culture the Valley is. You know, we have, this is where Narciso Martinez comes from, Rubén Vela, and Ramón Ayala as well. So, it's a little bit of everything. It's Tejano, it's Conjunto. And Tejano, of course, is my, basically what got me started. And one of the artists that inspired me was Laura Canales.
Wow.
And so we're hoping that with the music and everything, who knows, we may have another Jesse Turner from Grupo Signo on our hands. I mean, it's just a matter of showing the kids, just the basics, and then they basically can learn from that experience of being within in a band, and they have a concert setting. And we're just excited to be doing something like this for the kids, because they're so deserving of it. And maybe they're not interested in marching band or orchestra, but they might be interested in a curriculum where they teach them how to play these instruments.
Awesome. And we only have about 15 seconds left. Real
Sure.
quick though, where can we follow you? Because we want to keep up with everything you're doing.
Thank you. They can go to our social media. We're all over. Elida Reina y Avante is our fan page, and they can also go to my personal Elida Reina Instagram as well. I just started a TikTok.
Awesome.
And so we're basically on everything. We also have an Elida Fest Facebook as well. So we, again, this is not the first year we plan to do Elida Fest. We will have one next year around July 30th, God willing. And of course, we want to thank all our sponsors for making it possible, and continue to just help the Valley grow, help our students grow.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about.
Perfect. Well, we love you. We love everything you're doing for our students and for the Valley.
Thank you.
And it's so important that you're here talking about this.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Yay, you guys. We're so excited about this. And of course, we're going to try to continue the conversation about music. So let's just go ahead and learn a little bit more about some exciting ways that music education can benefit students and, of course, everyone. All right, so according to DoSomething.org, there have been many studies that show young children as having improved memory functions, when they're involved in music classes. In fact, just 1 year of music classes can, help improve a child's memory by a lot, compared to children who maybe don't have any type of musical training. The site also says that whenever schools offer music programs to their students, overall academic ratings increase. And that percentage is often reasonably higher than those schools that don't offer any type of music classes. See, even if a student is studying with math, science, or another field or school-related issue, I mean, they're still going to want to go to school oftentimes because of those music classes, like Eliada said. And not only is it just something fun for them, but it's a way for them to express themselves and practice skills that they're passionate about. And music can really innovate and motivate students in so many ways. The site also references a study done at Stanford, and it found that studying music can help students engage in different areas of their brain that normally aren't exercised, even in other hobbies or with other skills. The study apparently outlines that music helps students pay attention better and helps them develop an ability to make predictions, and again, can really help with memory improvement. And the site says that these just aren't technical skills that they can learn. It's also about the humanities, because they hone in on and develop an overall understanding of different language components. Now, the site also says that a lot of music programs oftentimes have a higher graduation rate in schools that don't offer any music education courses or programs at all. And that's not all. Apparently, even the percentage of students who attend the graduation ceremonies increases whenever they're graduating with an experience in a music class. It's very interesting. The site also outlines that third graders specifically often scored better when it came to reading and spelling tests or competitions, and that there's evidence of students performing higher overall in various categories and grade levels, regardless of socioeconomic status or school district, and just whenever they're involved in some type of music education. But as good as these results show for schools, that offer music education for students, we were surprised to learn that a lot of music programs are actually in jeopardy of being cut from so many schools' budget plans. It turns out that even though students love these resources, and it actually has been shown to benefit their overall academic performance, there are constant fears of music being cut out completely in so many different school districts because it's just sometimes deemed not as vital as the core classes or for other reasons. This is when we step in, of course, do our part as parents, teachers, leaders, and of course general community supporters, just to aid in anything that we can do to, when it comes to backing music education for our students. The site also says that students who learn to study an instrument in courses like these can take what they've learned with their newly improved critical thinking skills to help them figure out complex portions of their other studies. And the site says that when students who study music also tend to have a more improved form of speaking. So something about learning music can help them gain a better vocabulary as well, and can even help them do better when it comes to their reading skills, like we mentioned. The site also outlines that even in circumstances where students have a learning disability or dyslexia, taking music classes can even help them focus. So now that you know a little bit about some of the benefits of music education for students, and we hope that your child is able to benefit from musical resources with your support. All right, well, now we're going to go ahead and take a commercial break, but don't go anywhere because we're going to be right back. And we'll have an all-new Fun with Food segment for you to check out. And since we're on the subject of deliciousness, we'll offer some tips and tricks when it comes to cooking. That plus a lot more after the break.